This morning, pretty early actually, Jason Lee reported a bug in our Use React Hooks course. And if I scroll down to the bug, he basically says the bug is with the conference website after Module 3 when you change the filtering condition, adding, removing days, that's the toggling Saturday and Sunday, the speaker that pops up into the new views does not always update. Let me show you what I mean by that. If you just want the answer, you can head over to the GitHub repo, Pluralsight course using React Hooks /99 patches / and then the 03 more React Hooks, use context, use reducer, use callback, use memo, clip 10. It has the solutions. You'll see in the source, basically image toggle on scroll. Here's this new day change count. Sorry, the variable's a little different than I'll show in the video coming up, but this basically has the full solution, and you can also read a little about it if you go to the README. That's essentially on this page. It will be there by the time you get there. When you look at all the speakers, notice that because these three are in view, Anthony Ross, Arun Gupta, and Brad Irby, they're color, and the ones on the bottom are black and white. When I scroll, the ones in view come into color. Obviously, you know that if you've gotten this far. So what happens if you unclick Sunday speakers? Well, Chris Richardson shows up, but he's still in black and white. Of course, when I scroll, it recalculates the is in view, which is the scroll handler in image toggle on scroll, which just to level set gets called from the speakers list. Speakers list iterates through speakers, calls speaker details. Speaker details turns around and calls the image toggle on scroll. And the only thing that affects image toggle on scroll, the calculation on whether it's in color or not, is this set in view, which is called from the scroll handler. Okay, that makes sense. So what we want to have happen is when we scroll, or when we change Sunday speakers, we want that to cause a recalculation of just the images that changed from is in view to not is in view. So for example, we wouldn't want to go through and recalculate every image. Like Anthony Russ is still in view. We don't want to have to re-render him. That would be inefficient. So what I like to do is I like to run the debugger. I like to go into components. This is the React debugging extension. Go into settings, and notice I have highlight updates when component renders clicked. So what this does for me is when I click on Sunday speakers, you can see the little green box appearing around what gets re-rendered. And obviously some of this stuff I shouldn't be re-rendering, but I am, and we won't worry about that now. But we would hope that, let me refresh the page again, we would hope that Chris Richardson would re-render, and he doesn't. So notice when I scroll, now everything is showing. When I unclick Sunday speakers, it's incorrect. As soon as I scroll, watch the green box around Chris Richardson. See, it popped up and it re-rendered. But notice carefully also these other two didn't re-render because their visibility didn't change. Right? Only just the one rendered. So what we want to have happen is when we click on Sunday speakers, refresh the page. When we click on Sunday speakers, we really want this one to update. So thinking about that, what we want to have happen, if we look on image on scroll, we want somehow this component to get notified when Chris Richardson, when it rearranges and Chris Richardson shows up in view. So my thinking is we need to somehow get state into this component that reflects, that gets updated so that is in view can run again. So my thinking is, what if we put a counter on the main page, and every time we clicked Sunday speakers or Saturday speakers, it updated the counter, and then we passed that counter all the way down into image on scroll, and then when that state changes, we do an is in view calculation. So let's do that. Let me go into speakers.js. Here we have our is loading. It'll be basically at that same state. So I'm going to type set constant. Let's call it click count, set click count equals use state, and we'll start at 0. And so here now we have to do a little prop drilling. If you get to the end of the course, you'll realize we can put this all in a common state, so we won't have to do this prop drilling, which is sort of annoying. So let's go to the speaker list, where we actually generate the speaker list. Sorry, I haven't looked at this code for a while, so kind of new to it. Click count equals click count. Okay, so now we want to go into speaker detail. Notice, of course, it re-rendered here. We'll go in here and we'll add it as a incoming property, click count. And then let's pass it down into image on scroll. Here, click count. So now if we go into image on scroll, add it as an incoming parameter, click count. And remember, click count is state. So all we have to do is we have to go into use effect and say if click count changes, remember this is the array of dependencies which will cause use effect to be called again, it'll automatically call set in view is in view, and it should update. So let's try that. Refresh the page. Now if I unclick Sunday speakers, didn't work. Unclick Sunday speakers, and it didn't work. All right. The reason it didn't work is I never updated the click count. So we need to go back into the speakers page. Let's look at our event handler for the event change. Where's that thing? Here it is, handle change Saturday. So let's just add the click count, so we can say set click count plus 1. Let's do the same for Sunday. Refresh the page. And now what happens when we unclick Sunday? Yeah, it worked. So now notice when I click it, you can see the green box around Sunday speakers because it re-renders. So refresh the page again just to prove it's working. Unclick Sunday speakers and you can see the blue box around it rendering correctly. And of course, when I scroll, you'll see the black and white image also change. And notice the green, only those rows change because is in view changed. See up on top, is in view changed. So that's basically it. Again, thanks to Jason Lee for reporting this. And this is an interesting case of just where the details really do matter.